Classy Climb blog. You know, Skynet tried to keep me down today, folks, but I am here. I got the best technical writer available for you guys. But if you don't know who I am, it's your first time to the channel, or you're new, or one of the new 8,000 subscribers we got all of a sudden, I'm Erica Williams from the Classy Climb blog, author of the Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Real Estate, and Businesses from the Palm of Your Hand. And I will let her introduce herself because she is so talented. Come on through, girl. Tell us who you are.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kimoy. And yes, I'm a technical writer by trade. Depending on the year, my title might change to content strategist, communication specialist, something. But I am just passionate about tech, passionate about helping people get jobs, especially in technical writing. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Listen, there's already 90 people up in here. They were waiting for you.
Oh my gosh.
They were like, yeah, Erica, you here, but we want to hear about the technical writing. Okay? So
I know. And I just want to say that anything I shared tonight is applicable to any job, whether you want to do technical writing or not. It's really about how to break into tech, period. So take notes.
I'm telling you guys, listen, I live in Austin, Texas, and many people say, well, Erica, you live in Austin, so you got this rosy view of tech. And I'm like, no, I'm going to city after city, conference after conference. I'm meeting more jobs in tech than I've ever met anywhere else. And I really seriously tell people, if you can't get a job in a market that doesn't even require a degree, but requires skill, certifications, like, if you can't win when times are good, baby, we got a problem, okay? So
yeah, don't get it twisted. There are more jobs in tech than there are candidates. So there's a huge pipeline that needs to be filled.
And I feel like our audience could feel it. Like, I feel like we have a lot of people in our audience who are talented, who are smart, who are researching things on the internet, who could pretty much fill these jobs. And yes, everybody is not going to be a business owner. I've said this multiple times. Everybody's not going to be a business owner. Everybody's not going to quit their job. Some of y'all just need a better job. And on top of that, you can use this money from your higher paying job to do what? Buy real estate, buy rental properties, invest in things on the side, pay all your debt off, whatever your choice. This is why I keep bringing this up. And honestly, I'll tell you this. I've told her this when I met her in person. I've been in Austin. I've had friends who take 6 months off work, and their job just let them come back in 6 months because they're so short of tech people. And imagine making $90,000 a year out of college. You've been making it for, now you're talking about, I need a break. I'm 31 and I need a break. I literally have friends saying, I need a break. I'm like,
so fun fact, I actually took a break. I took a year off and went traveling around the world. So the beauty of it is, whether you are entrepreneurial or not, you could do technical writing as an independent contractor. Even when I worked for Google, they asked me if I wanted to do it on a 1099 or W-2, or you could do it as a regular employee. The only thing I wouldn't recommend when it comes to technical writing is don't try to market yourself or brand yourself as a freelance technical writer because you won't get paid as much. So it's really about how you sell yourself. And that's what I tend to focus more, is helping people learn how to get the skills and how to sell your skills. So
I love that. Listen, we've got an amazing page. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. I want you guys to check it out on your own for sure, but now, what got my attention on this conversation? And I see all y'all in the chat. It's 140 of y'all in here. Definitely hit the like button. That would help. Help me fight Skynet. 2, drop your city and state. I saw a lot of people from Dallas, Texas, and some other places dropping their state, city and state, and I appreciate that. I see a little bit of Atlanta, Georgia. But she brought an article to my attention on Instagram. Now, and for the record, sometimes I bring people on there like, have you ever met that person in person? I actually did meet her in person in Washington.
Yes, she was here in D.C.
So sometimes people are like, where'd you meet them? I'm like, I meet people. Okay, so now sometimes people say, Erica, are there 2 economies? Are there 3 economies? And this is a perfect article, displaying what we were talking about, like where people feel like there's, 2 economies and they're left out or something, right? Hold on, let me see. going to share this.
Yeah, this article made me, I'm such a nerd about this article because it really speaks to what is happening in terms of tech jobs, trade jobs, the whole college thing, which is so on time with that scandal that happened. I am loving what JP Morgan, the CEO of that company, is doing. Like, it's about time somebody is taking the lead on that. So I'm super excited.
Well, first of all, here's my take on the whole college scam thing. A lot of these kids that are going to college because their parents are making them and they're paying these, celebrities, they knew what was going on, for one. And for two, it was just kind of a rubber stamp to get them in the room with the right people, right? Like, their daughter wanted a job at this magazine company. They had to make her kind of like look like she went to college. Or, honestly, this is what I'm thinking. Greg Cardone always talked to me about, he'd only send his daughters to Yale, Harvard, and I think Columbia or something. Anyway, and the reason he said that, he's like, I'll have them in the room with the right people. You know your children are going to mingle and mix and marry people a lot of times from college. So, and who they hang out with it kind of projects their future. And this is why I think in the Black community, Hispanic community, your parents are so harping on you not to hang out with the bad crowd, because it puts you on this 10-year kind of trajectory if you're not careful, So,
yeah.
If you guys can see my screen, put a 1 in the comments if you see it. I'm pretty sure you can. Thank you, Rock and Roll Dina, for sharing it. Both links. Now, Jamie Dimon, I'll let you set us up. Set this article up for us.
Okay, so essentially what JP Morgan is doing is they have gotten rid of degree requirements for most of their jobs. They're hiring ex-felons, and they're putting the money towards programs to train people to fill those digital and technical roles. So I think in 2013, they put $250 million, and it looks like they are putting in $350 million to train people. And they're working with community colleges and local organizations to basically fill these jobs that we were talking about earlier. There's more jobs than there are candidates. And he's like, look, we don't want to wait 4 years for you to graduate from college. And the whole idea and the pony show about donating all this money to these prestigious schools, he's like, that's not philanthropic anymore. Like, I'm really trying to make a change. He's hiring ex-felons. I mean, this guy, he just came up on my radar, and I'm a huge fangirl already. So it really sets the tone as far as filling these technical jobs, digital jobs, the right way.
I hear you. Keep talking.
Okay. So, of course, technical writing falls into that. But for those of you who don't know what technical writing is, it's really explaining how things work. So every day, even if you maybe fill out a bank application online, you open up a bank account, there are words on the screen that walks you through the process. And that is created by a technical writer. So you get the instructions on the front end on what to do next, right? And if you do something wrong, you will get an error message. Or if you need help and they want to direct you to a help article, they will give you an article or maybe a tutorial or something to help you, the end user, complete a task. So that's one side of technical writing. On the back end of technical writing is speaking to the developers, right? They need to know how to make other programs integrate with each other, and it has to be in plain English. And if, there's IT person that needs to know how to use code to help build an application, somebody has to break that down. And I'm going to tell you, engineers aren't the best at breaking things down. And I'm not hating on engineers. I have an engineering degree. But I like things to be step by step, very process oriented, easy to understand, easy to implement. So if you are that type of person where you like to break things down, help people get things done quickly without them having to think too much, then I highly encourage you to consider technical writing. The opportunities are there. I mean, I think I shared with you, Erica, a really cool job from Netflix, which is like, I've seen since 2011 how technical writing has evolved. So it's not just software applications, but it's moved into apps. You know, all the little things that you see on the apps on your phone, it's moved over into voice, and now it's moved over into interactive media. So there are tons of opportunities, and I'm just excited to share it with you guys and how to find these jobs and how to get them. So yeah, if you have questions, just let me know. But the opportunities are there. So I'm excited to see what JP Morgan, especially, but other tech companies are already doing this. But I'm definitely excited to see what JP Morgan is going to do.
Well, okay, I'm going to scroll down so you guys can see the article some while they're. But essentially, this is what he looks like. I know what he looks like because I watch CNBC all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, right? But he talks about, hopefully it doesn't play. It's going to play. Hold on, let me quiet it. Stop. So, essentially, this has been a conversation for a while. And he was saying, essentially, he did not want to be a tone-deaf CEO. Now, while his company is doing fine, and he's doing fine, of course, there's a big chunk of people who have been left behind. 40% Americans make less than $15 an hour. Now, that's an interesting stat. I will check it for you guys again. But what I tell people all the time is, I don't know if you saw me on Instagram ranting a while ago. I was just ranting about people like, hey, Erica, you moving too fast. You buying all these trucks. You do it. There is a demand of men kind of like, oh, trucking jobs. There's jobs in trucking. I'll go do trucking. And so I saw the demand, and I saw where I could meet, like, just for my little bit, you know, my little portion. And so that's why I started doing, you know, trucking. Also, I know as the economy turns, a lot of these men are going to go back to work. Like, you're going to see people go in trades. You're going to go see a lot of people do stuff. So this one dude was saying, you know, basically in here he says 40% of Americans make less than $15 an hour. 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 bill, whether it's medical or fixing their car. Now, that number is actually closer to 70%. But when they said, can you afford $1,000, it was 70% of people, okay? 15% of Americans make minimum wage. 70,000 die from opioids annually. Again, that whole 70,000 people dying from opioids, when I talked about medical marijuana, and people are like, Erica, why are you talking about this? Who cares? This country is going to make a big push to let insurance companies pay for medical marijuana. I don't know why y'all don't see where this is going. I'm not a crazy person. I basically go to a lot of conferences, and I try to let you guys see what big companies are doing. They're investing in these industries because they realize, prime example, Kamoy, I don't know if you know about small, you know, rural towns. A lot of those places hold prisoners, right? They ship these prisoners way out in the middle of nowhere, away from the middle of the city, to these rural areas. Now, when these prisons, if people don't know what's going on right now, for the past 20 years, crime has gone down. Only thing that's gone up is people going to jail for drug-related crime and, of course, the opioid crime. So you have all these, there's a 50% increase in white women going to jail for a lot of federal crimes, drug trafficking, prostitution. You know, if homegirl bought pills in Florida and drove them back to Pennsylvania, that's Fed time. So there's been things happening, and that's why that drug bill that Donald Trump put in pushed through. Now, that's just one part. Now, on the other side of this, what I'm trying to get people to see is the HB visa, people get really upset about that. As you see, Donald Trump's making a big thing about ICE and you know, having immigrants come in. This just leaves an opportunity for many people who are in those rural areas to be call centers. It leaves a lot of opportunity for guys who are coming out, but you live in the inner city, to be at some of these tech jobs. I know several young black guys who they didn't even get a degree in tech, and they're in Raleigh, North Carolina right now, just killing it in tech. Like, and all of a sudden, it was literally just got a job change from They literally were like, oh, yeah, if this job's not paying enough, I'm going to go to this tech place over here in the Research Triangle. So my go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's really good for people to not just to basically see the opportunities that are happening around them, and the links that the government, banks, tech companies are doing to basically get resources, hire people. So I see some questions here, so I wanted to address those really quick. So someone said, if creating a document with screenshots, yes, that's actually a technical document. So it could be a help center article, it could be a knowledge-based article, it could be a job aid, it could be specifications, a manual. So all that stuff is considered technical documentation in today's world because we're using more apps. It's called either microcopy because it's not like a lot of words on the screen nowadays. So it's microcopy, or it's called user experience writing. So a lot of my course that I have, it really touches more on user experience writing because that is getting more and more popular. But you know, if you have the capacity to like understand complex subjects and be able to break it down, and you could write like software instruction or even product-based instructions, then that's a really good skill to have as a technical writer. And let me see, I think that was one other question. Someone asked about not needing a degree. I wouldn't go as far to say that you don't need a degree, okay? JP Morgan, they are like spearheading the game, but I wouldn't say that Google and Amazon and all these other tech companies are going to hire you if you don't. I mean, they will, right? But you have to
on the record that they'll consider it. So
yeah, they'll consider it, but you got to bring your A game. And what I mean by that is you have to have a portfolio, and you have to build up a professional brand. And you could do that with your own website, but I highly recommend to get started is to use LinkedIn as your like professional profile. So you got to make sure you get a portfolio.
Oh, dude, I'm very proud of, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm very proud of everybody who reached out to me on LinkedIn. I had literally like 40 people reach out to me on LinkedIn after our show, and I was talking about you guys out here specializing in Facebook, but not LinkedIn, you know? So I'm very proud of it.
It's a powerful tool. I mean, I could talk about that all night. But the other thing I wanted to, someone said, how did I get training? So fun story. So where I live, I don't know if you guys get these catalogs in the mail where the county, like the recreational center, they offer like courses, right? They offer courses on how to cook or how to sew or just random things, gym classes, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And I was just combing through what they were offering, and I saw creative writing, and then I saw technical writing. So this was back in 2011. And it was a 4-week course. Like I only had 4 sessions, and it walked through like what technical writing is and the different types of documents you can create. But to my surprise, I had already created those things as part of my job. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to create my professional brand. So I put together a portfolio of all the technical documentations I created and basically sold my skills, right? So in no time, I was hired. And like I said, oh, and Erica, your title says $45 to $60 an hour, but honey.
What is it? Tell me.
I'm getting paid more than that.
Listen, you know, I didn't want to scare people. I can put 80. Now I can put 80 an hour. Like, well,
yeah, it's more than that. But for those starting out, I would say, you know, that's a fairly decent range. But you have to put together a portfolio. The tech world does not play. They want to know that you're actually interested in doing this stuff and that you actually tried it. So you can't just, yeah.
Everybody, I put 2 links in the description. I want to clarify. Kamoy's class is $197. The second link is Mr. Chris Johnson that came on our show before in tech. His class, it does show $999, but with our 70% off, it's $299. So take a deep breath. I can tell y'all already when you're trying to buy stuff, hold on a minute, okay? We're gonna take care of y'all here. There's 250 of y'all on here, and there's like 15 questions like, what's the code? What's the discount? Like, chill, baby. We got you. Okay? Now, finish what you're saying. Now I tell people all the time, look at the community college because notary, you name it. You can learn just about anything at community college. I mean, I was just ranting on Instagram about the fact that I'm in Austin, Texas, and people are complaining about tech jobs, and they're literally giving away a free network administrator degree. Free.
Whoa.
They're so short right now that Dell gave some money, and one other company gave some money and was like, we need these immediately. I don't care where you get the kids. I don't care who you put in the school. We need about 1,000 of these in Austin immediately. So when people sit here and go, I don't know. Like,
you gotta try.
Okay.
Just you never know, and they are starting as soon as high school and even middle school. Like my dad, he's retired military and he's a teacher, and he said his school is offering a free coding boot camp, and this is in the Philadelphia area, and he said nobody signed up for it. I'm like,
wow.
What? Like, don't miss these opportunities. Like, if you see coding, IT, tech, anything like that, please sign up. Get your kids to sign up. One of my friends, she just signed up her daughter for a summer gaming development boot camp. So,
hey, hold on a second. You guys who are in there, hold on 1 second. Someone click the code I put in there. Make sure it pops up to her long form page. It should be a yellow page. Tell me if it does. Anybody in the chat? I just want to make sure they're on the right one.
I have a lot of colors on my page. My page is pretty colorful.
These live streams with the guests are best. Thank you so much. Adam Talking Drums. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Rock and Roll Dina. Thanks for the knowledge and awesome guests you're bringing on. Thank you guys for the super chat. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Erica's in the dictionary under Cash Info Central. Okay, I'm going to show them this screen because some of y'all is wearing my nerves. So hold on. I just want to make sure it's going to the right place. All right, when you click that link, is it showing this to you guys? Let me know. Purple and gray. What is it showing to y'all? Is it showing you 2 courses or 1 course? People are saying the link works. Okay, so I'm just making sure. Okay, so this is what her page looks like. Look at them. Girl, where you cut your dreads?
I cut them last summer. I shaved the side and everything. It grows so fast, so.
Okay. All right, so this is what her page looks like.
Okay. I want to address someone really quickly. Sure. So Harvey Chestnut says he has 2 associate degrees, one in computer networking and another one in server admin, but no certificate. It has been very hard to find a tech job. So what that tells me is that your professional branding is not up to par, because those are highly desirable skills. So there is something about how you're packaging your skills that's not right. I mean, I don't mean to say that in a negative way, okay?
Right, no, you're not. You're saying it right.
Okay, but
it's in presentation. It is in presentation. It's
in presentation. So, if I can't look at your resume and see that you solved a networking problem, or if you improve security in any way, or you help the company save time in any way, or there were no downtimes with the servers, if I can't tell that right away looking at your resume, then you have some work to do. Because guess what? These recruiters, they are hunting people down. Okay? Hunting people down. And if they can't understand what you're able to do within 8 seconds of looking at your resume, then you gotta do something. So in my course, my course doesn't cover computer networking, obviously, but I do cover resumes and I cover LinkedIn profiles. So you have to know how to sell your skills. And that's all I can say at this point. I don't know where you are, Harvey, but you seem like you have some valuable skills, so there's something that's missing there.
Listen, I'm telling you guys, I go on LinkedIn, and some of y'all got a picture of y'all at a cookout up there, and like barely it filled out. I be getting frustrated. I be wanting to message you, but I don't. But I'm really serious, you guys. LinkedIn, every day I get some recruiters. I haven't been in apartment management in a while. I even put some of the stuff off my profile. I still get messages. Are you still looking for an apartment management job? No. I ain't looked in years. What the hell? So recruiters are lazy people. And so I'm not knocking recruiters work hard. Let me correct that. but they don't have a lot of time. So if they're scanning the internet and type on your thing, they're looking for technical writers. If it's not in your profile at least once or twice or 3 times or however someone wants you to put it up there, you're hurting yourself because, you know, can you guys see my screen still? Put a 1 in the comments if you can. I don't know. It looks, is it blank? What is it showing over there? It should be still showing you.
Yeah, I see my page. And okay. Also, I see everyone posting cloud computing and cybersecurity, and those are definitely jobs you should definitely get into. But keep in mind, right, for example, here in DC, there are a lot of government agencies that are not even there yet. Okay, I'm going to just be honest with you.
They're not there
so,
yet.
Depending on where you are, server admin, his skills could be applicable in helping those legacy systems come up to par, or those older companies help them kind of get up to par. Cloud computing and stuff, I feel like mostly tech, the big tech companies and the startups, those kind of skills are more in demand. So I wouldn't say he's completely outdated, but of course you want to stay on top of things. Like, things are changing. Like we just said in the beginning, JP Morgan, they don't even want to wait 4 years, because 4 years later, technology has changed. So you have to keep up on top of what's happening as well. But I wouldn't discount his current experience, because these government agencies, they hire, they pay, and they have a lot of upgrading to do. So, but yeah, cloud computing is hella cool. Oh my gosh.
Say what?
Cloud computing. You guys, I could talk about, you guys have to see what's happening with Alexa. If you have an Alexa, we need to have a separate conversation about that. There's so many opportunities for
marketers. You go ahead and work with Skynet.
That.
She's bringing on the destruction with Skynet. Okay, so my thing is, you guys are looking at her cool website. You see her website is. Okay. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Oh, it's all the jobs? Look at all that.
Someone said someone gave you a super chat and they have completed Salesforce. Yo, Salesforce? Listen, they hire technical writers at Salesforce. So it depends on what you want to do. If you want to work with clients and help them set up Salesforce, if you want to create the content to do that, I mean, Salesforce is a huge company, so you should be able to, do some research and figure out exactly what you want to do with Salesforce training, but you could be like an independent trainer on Salesforce if you wanted to. So just figure out your path.
Okay. All right. Y'all see that, right? See that? No. Hold on. That's a $5 super chat. How does having a record affect getting employment in IT? Say, for instance, you were been arrested before, but no convictions.
Oh, I have no idea, you guys.
I would say
I don't know. Yeah, that one, I'm not even going to pretend to know because I don't have a record. But like I said, JP Morgan, they put it out there that they're hiring ex-felons. I mean, I don't know if you're an ex-felon, but look at the companies that are doing that sort of thing and go, see what opportunities are there. So that's all I can give.
I would say when it comes to that, get it as sponge. Like even in the apartment industry, we would have people, something was 10 years ago, and they can't get an apartment. I'm like, honey, pay that $500 and get that taken off. Because depending on the lawyer, a lot of lawyers will do old work, casework for like $500 to $1,000 to $3,000. So
so $500 to get you a six-figure paying job. That's a really good ROI. Yeah.
They said they're not a felon. Okay, so just been arrested. So I mean, it shouldn't be a problem unless, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've seen some where it's DUI. You might have a problem, but it depends. It depends. It depends on the company. Let me put it to you this way: 1,000 companies moved to Alpharetta, Georgia. 1,000 companies.
Wow.
So when people say I can't find anything, I hate to say this, you guys, but you you need to change something on your LinkedIn or adjust, because 1,000 companies move into states and you can't find anything. And this is also remote work. Like, Kamoi's working out of California, but she in DC, okay, or wherever she worked for. But that's my whole point, is this kind of, I'm like, there's jobs everywhere. That's why when people talk about rural areas, I'm like, if you live in a rural area, the best thing you need to do is get high-speed internet at your house, no matter the cost, and get you one of these tech jobs. Because that's what's going to be in your area, not the Rust Belt jobs, not the manufacturing, none of that.
Yeah. And with remote jobs, they're super competitive, and you are competing with people who want to do that. So I just say, this is what I wanted to mention about technical writing, but other jobs as well. So there are cases where you could work for 6 months and get, do a 6-month contract for one particular client, take a break, right? Because you're getting paid decent money. So if you're good with managing your money, you could take a break and then sign up to work for another contract or another client for 6 months or whatever. So that's exactly what happened to me. I was in Argentina for 2 months, and Google wanted to hire me for 3 months. So I packed up my bags from Argentina and I went straight to California, right? I worked for 3 months, and they were like, "Oh, we'll extend your contract." I was there for a year, you guys.
They're like, "You're doing a wonderful job. Stay here."
And then I came over to DC and worked for them 3 more months before I came and worked for another client over here. So even if you maybe not into remote work, but you want to like work for a few months and then get a break, stack your coins, get a break, then you could look at contracts as well. So just wanted to put that out there.
Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I have my headset on now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Black Knight Coden said he's been working remote for 3 years. Remote is competitive. See, what I tell people is don't apply for remote. Get in there and then try to be remote. That's what I think is better, because what ends up happening here in Dale, in Austin, Texas, Dale had so many requests for remote that they've started letting people do Monday and Fridays from home, right? So they used to give people $8,000 to set up their home office. You know what people did? People went to WeWork, bought a WeWork for a year. People did all kind of crazy mess and didn't really set up their home offices and then wanted to come back into Dale. Like, just stupid stuff, right? So if you're going to go into this field, you got to be prepared. But Jeffrey Keefe just said, no experience equals network and join user groups for experience.
Okay, yes, I agree. I would say user groups for sure. But it's also about, like I said, selling your skills and knowing how to contact and communicate with recruiters. So for me, I didn't have a strong network. Like,
recruiters pretty hard.
For me, it was about selling my skills. Like, I want to be a technical writer, so I started putting stuff out there. Like, I started creating stuff, making stuff up, you guys. Like, literally, I created some kind of fake app, which you guys, if you sign up for the course, you'll see. And I wrote instructions for it. Or I started comparing Android and iPhone web pages and made a video about it. Like, I started doing stuff to show that this is what I want to do and this is how I would do it. So that for me worked. It wasn't because, I had someone in my network. The only person I care about when I'm looking for a job is a recruiter, because they're the one that's going to get me the job.
Well, yeah, and they work really hard.
They work really hard.
Like, I'm making fun of them they just go on LinkedIn and type in things all day. Really, that's what they do. They go on LinkedIn, they type in a description, they look for people who are in between jobs or need a new job, and then they proceed to call you and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And then if you can show what they're needing, but if you guys aren't even filling out the stuff in the descriptions, like you're not even filling out your information, you're not saying you completed projects, like you're making it hard for yourself.
Yeah.
So do you have a LinkedIn part of your course?
Yes, I go over LinkedIn, how to use it, what you should include. So, yeah, I cover that.
Listen, y'all, come on. She giving it to you. I mean, because
do you get certified? I'm working on the certification piece. I think Teachable is a platform that I use, and I think you can get a certificate of completion, which is basically what I have for the in-person course that I took like in 2011. So I'll work on getting that for you guys. Let's see. I don't see any other questions.
I'm gonna roll back through. So I'm looking down for you guys. Again, Rock and Roll Dina, whoever mods are here, just drop her link in there again for us.
Oh, Reynold Cherry said, if you're a programmer, GitHub is your friend. Yes, so that's another thing. If you're a developer, programmer, that's like the portfolio piece I was talking about, right? So for a writer, you have to have articles. For a programmer, GitHub is where you could create your own like software or concept of a software or the code that you created for something. You could use GitHub. You could also create like concept websites and stuff there. So that's really a good resource.
Did you see what Case Ellis said? She said, Black people are always hung up on certifications. People of other races are applying without certifications. Listen, if you can prove
that's
you can
true.
if you got projects you set up and websites you develop, I say go for it. I mean, I really do, because let me tell y'all this. While times are good and companies are like, we need a person, we will willingly train a person, jump in there. Like, literally, I know so many girls here in Austin who they're getting trained on the job. They're leaving college and trained on the job. So
that's true. So always apply. I mean, that's, if you're interested, just apply. You never know. But to be honest, I can't remember the last time I applied for a job because recruiters just bring them to me. So, so someone said IT positions in Chicago, QA, quality assurance, and quality assurance. Okay, so that's another piece of technical writing, actually. So it's diminishing because it's now a remote job, but quality assurance is basically trying to break a software or trying to break an application. You're testing it to see how well it works. And typically, a technical writer or maybe a business analyst would write down the steps that you need to take to try and break it, or try to create some kind of error. So I've created quality assurance test plans, and basically, like I said, it's all about taking something complex and breaking it down. And I remember one of my managers saying, I need this to be really clear so that if I gave it to someone walking on the street, they're able to follow these steps and try to break this application. So QA now,
it's really good, because if you think about it, really the two biggest parts of technology right now are making it for the technical people, and two, making it for like mom and pops, retirees, people who are not tech savvy. So makes sense.
Yeah. But now there are a lot of websites where people, actually that's a good side hustle. If you want to start testing other people's websites and testing other softwares, I forgot what the website is.
Oh my God, what you're bringing up? Wait. Wait. Come on, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ty Lopez just talked about what she's getting ready to say, because he literally talked about service jobs at 10X conference. But go ahead. This is how I know what you're saying is spot on. They just talked about this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the site, but it's basically where people get paid to test out software and try to break it. User testing, yes. Thank you so much, Chris. Usertesting.com. That's it. Yeah. So those kind of test plans that you'll get is probably created by a technical writer.
See? So someone asked me to describe what's in your course, even though I showed the screen like 5,000 times. Just kind of give them an overview of what's in your course, and any of the moderators, if you can post the course again, that'd be great. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first module is basically how to create technical documentation. So there's a 5-step process, no matter what type of technical documentation it is, that you have to go through, that is very standard across any organization. So I walk you through that process. And then I give you examples to create your own technical content. So I pick about 3 companies, I think, and basically your homework is to create, I give you some UX, user experience exercises, and I give you instructional exercises. So that's the first module. The second module, I cover resumes and what to look for in a job description, what you should have in your resume, what you should take out of your resume for tech writing jobs. Then I also walk through the LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn, what you should have on your LinkedIn profile, how to upload your portfolio pieces to LinkedIn, the type of skills that you should highlight on LinkedIn. And then I also walk you through the different types of people that you will work with as a technical writer. So it's basically getting you familiar with the role so that when you do get an interview and they bring up certain roles, that you're not like a fish out of water. Like it sounds familiar to you. So I want you to get an idea of, okay, this is what you will likely do when you're working with this person. So I give you that kind of overview. Let's see, what else? I've included for you guys 2 group calls, which I typically don't do, but I'm going to include group coaching. So I really want people to at least walk away with creating a portfolio and making sure that their resume and LinkedIn is up to par. I also give you guys, this is like, I don't know if it's top secret or not, but the test that I had to take to interview with Facebook and interview with Airbnb, the test and the answers are in there. Let's see, what else did I include? Hold on. Oh, and how to connect with recruiters. So that was the other thing that I gave you guys. So yeah, it's pretty much it.
I liked it. You did a great job. You explained it all.
Thank you. Yeah, and I included some coaching calls just in case.
2 group coaching calls. Don't get crazy after for 3.
2 group coaching calls. Yeah. Just in case people need like an extra push to get their portfolio ready. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that part. So I want to see, my homework for you guys, even if you don't sign up for my course, when you go back to work tomorrow, there is some document that is out of date, or there's some document that needs to be created, or some kind of technical document that you can use as part of your portfolio right now. There's some process, there's some document that's there's some guy who is like 60 years old. He has all the information in his head and nobody else knows how to do it without talking to him. So take that information from his head and put it down in step-by-step instructions. So that's your homework, whether you take the course or not, and use that to start building your portfolio. So
I'm telling you, so here's what I'm gonna say again to you guys. Her course is the Tech Jobs 2 Bitly that they've been sharing. We'll share it again. It was in the description. It's $197. She got you on the 5-step process. She got you on the LinkedIn. She got you how to make a portfolio. She got you how to recruit yourself. All that good stuff. Plus 2 group coaching calls. The second one you see is just Chris' class we talked about before. That's $299. Now, when you click that link, that's the only link the Classy IT works for. Her class is $197. We're not gonna do no lower. She probably should charge y'all $350, but we're gonna let her keep it at $197 because she's being nice. But I'm telling y'all, tell who else is on here giving you game for $197 that you're gonna be able to applicably do in probably a month and able to go try to apply for jobs, even if you get a few, 1 or 2 remotely. You got to start somewhere. You got to put some skin in the game. And for some of the people I know that are at home in between jobs, you've said it in the comments, some of you before shows, this is a great time. Great time to get started while companies need people.
Yeah, and like I said, even if you don't go into technical writing, like a lot of the content will help you with any kind of job, really, because that is the way you get a job in today's market. It's completely changed. You can't use the old school methods of trying to find a job. So you have to get that portfolio, even if you get into some other field. So
for sure, and the fact that like the whole LinkedIn game has been a game changer for about 7 years. I'd say about 7 years. You said probably more.
Yeah. I've used it since maybe 2012 or so. Yeah. Right.
Like, even in trucking, where I'm at in trucking right now, there's a recruiter that's in between me and the company. So, like, me getting my trucks there. So it's like, trust me, recruiters work hard because they want to get their squeeze point and you get yours too, you know? So that's just one thing. I'm going to show her website again. But you can share any thoughts you have while I'm getting ready to show it again.
Yeah. So I just want to say, in true technical writing fashion, right, I don't do a lot of fluff. So I get straight to the point. You got to do your homework. Okay. There's not too much hand holding, because if you want to get into technical writer, you have to be able to explain things. You have to be able to take those, complex concepts and break it down. So there's not a whole lot of fluff, right? There's, we don't use a lot of words and terms and fancy jargon in our documentation. You have to get it down to plain language, okay? And people think it's super easy, but it's not always easy sometimes, because people don't read nowadays, right? People's attention span has gotten really low. So you got to be to the point, all right? So I just want to put that out there. That's a disclaimer. There's not a lot of fluff in my course. It's pretty straightforward. But you got to do the homework.
For those of you who said I couldn't see the original page, here it is. I'm throwing it in the comments. That's the long form page. They're both take you to the course. They both will take you there. Okay, there's that. Now let me show you the page again, because I think it's cool. I like the color you did. I like it. Do your recruiters comment on it?
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So actually, I don't show that page to recruiters that much.
You know what I mean? Your other.
But they have seen my blog posts, and I've had those blog posts up for a long time, and I still get comments on those. So, yeah.
So this is the long form page I'm talking about that I was showing you guys. Everybody can see it. Put a 1 in the comments if you can see it. It's got the purple handwriting. It says there's a lot of tech. Look at all these jobs right here. Can you see this, boy? You see my page?
Yeah, so that is an actual photo of my email inbox.
Of all the jobs, y'all. Look at that. Goodness. That's a lot of jobs. Okay, so say bye-bye to being a struggle writer. I love that. People, listen, writing is an art. It is. Okay, so this is a salary calculator for creative and marketing in Washington, D.C. You're talking about somebody making $66,000 to $99,000 a year. Okay, and when I tell you the average 75 million Americans are making $30,000 a year. If you're not ready to double or triple your salary, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know. Okay, tech writers are some of the best paid writers out there. Demand is high, consistency, pays well, it's cool. You know what's funny? Did I tell you the story that my friend said all the technical writers at his job are like hot girls? He's like, hey,
that's funny.
He's like, hey, whatever you say. Like, and I'm telling you, and it's just one of those things where they're going to hire women because, how do you get these guys to listen? Or even young guys. Like, the guy said there's one guy at their job, and he's like, he's not a nerd, but he doesn't really know much. So he'll just come to them like, please explain your process. And of course, the guys are like showing off their skill, like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you either have those who who are trying to show off, or you have the stubborn ones who don't want to share information. So a lot of it is pulling information out of people's heads and, you know, interviewing them essentially to get the information. So
we got the Facebook, the IBM, the Google, the Box, Dell, Uber, and Airbnb. You're doing all the jobs. Okay.
Yeah, man, they're all hiring. And technical sometimes jobs shows up as technical writers. My actual title at Google was content strategist. A lot of my friends pulled from Google they got pulled from Google to work for Facebook, and their titles were user experience writers. And Netflix now, they have content designer. That is the coolest job I've seen to date, you guys. So, yeah, it's crazy to see it evolve so quickly over the past few years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Who's hiring an ATL? It's your job to get on the computer today after you get off this show. I refuse to spoon feed anybody. I want you to get off this show. I want you to go off this show, hop into LinkedIn or hop in Indeed.com and type in technical writer. Like, I feel like I could do that right now while we're talking on this show.
Yeah.
Find something. Okay, again.
You will.
Your job search profiles, attract recruiters like magnets. Again, 2 coaching calls. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Okay, let me go over here. You guys let me know if you can see it. I'm going to type in Indeed.com. I'm going to do it to prove a point.
Oh, yeah. The beauty set instructional design. Yeah, that's also another form of technical writing, basically. But that one is more focused on curriculum. So or training, like in-person training. So you have to like create quizzes and make sure people understand the information. So it's very similar to technical writing, but it's geared towards training people on how to do something or testing them after they learn something. So instructional design is very close to that. So again, this skill set of being able to follow that 5-step process and create technical content, it could be applied to so many other roles.
Okay, so we're on Indeed.com. Can you guys see the screen? Are you seeing it? Come on. Is that showing up?
Yeah.
Okay, so as soon as I wrote technical writer, look what popped up. Remote and technical writer healthcare immediately popped up. So we're going to click the first one, just to click regular. And we're going to click find jobs. Now, yes, I'm in Austin, Texas, but again, technical writer. All right. Boom. Technical writer. This one's a little low. Technical writer. Technical writer. Public safety. Technical writer. Intern. You're making $20 an hour as an intern. Imagine how much you're going to make when you're not an intern. Okay. Technical writer. Technical writer. Engineering. Technical writer. Automotive technician. Why is it even in my church? I don't know why. Technical writer. All right. Look at this one. UX technical writer, user experience copywriter, permanent position, $80,000 a year. And this is Taylor Recruiting. This is not even the company. So, all right. So the recruiting office is going to get you 80. Let's see. Technical writer, another technical writer. National Instruments is like just huge campus. I know you're getting paid there. Senior technical writer. How would you change your title? How would you get the senior technical writer title?
I would say years of experience, and most likely if you've worked on a lot of specifications. So that's usually like on the back end side of things, where you're working more with developers and technicians. So it's a lot more technical content. That your audience is actually like engineers. It's not the everyday user like you and me, but for that type of document, it's like, so I talk about the code that maybe Google Maps would need to connect with Uber. Like that kind of content is called API. So if you're able to create APIs and all the behind the scenes type of content, you're more of a senior technical writer.
Okay, now I'm going to type in, look at that, business report writer IV. Texas Department of Transportation is paying $59,096 to be their technical writer. That's interesting. Okay, let's go over to Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina, technical writer, content writer, technical writer, technical writer, workers' compensation claims adjuster. Okay, you guys, there was a time I was talking to a lot of videos on claims adjusters. So now, no matter what I say, Skynet has it in here. It'll pop up in my feed. So, Skynet, technical writer, technical writer. What's a content writer? What's another word? Look, technical writer, Piper Companies, $75,000 to $95,000 a year. Technical writer, script writer, $56,000 to $91,000 a year. Technical writer. What's another word again? Instructional what? Design? I'll type that in.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, instructional design, corporate trainee. Okay, instructional design, $42,000 to $72,000 a year. Structural design, content developer, training compliance coordinates. Let's see, what's another term that you had?
Can you find any on UX? UX writer?
Oh, UX writer, entry level, technical writer, marketing communications, intern, UX design, 52. Listen to this, y'all. Intern, 55,000 to 82,000 a year. Okay. What's another one? Burt's Bees. Oh my God, I remember some people trying to work there in North Carolina. End user educational portal manager. That's a fancy.
Oh wow, that's a creative one.
That's Credit Suisse. Yeah. Let me see. Type in another city. What's another city? I hate it. I don't even want to do San Francisco because it's such a. It makes.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a ton over in California.
So it makes it like unrealistic. So I'm gonna do Atlanta because folks is. I'm gonna do Atlanta, digital asset, technical writer, junior copywriter, director, user experience, UX. So UX is what? What is UX? Is it just like a system or what?
It's user experience. So okay, it's basically what you want the user to do and how you want them to feel when they are interacting with your website, your software, etc.
Okay, copywriter, senior UX specialist, $87,000 to $130,000 a year for the company in Atlanta. Graphic design. Now let's put Alpharetta, Georgia. Let's just be even. Alpharetta, Georgia, where all the tech companies moved. Okay, copywriter, technical writer, CIOX Health Company, $97,000 to $146,000 a year. Copywriter, graphic design. Okay.
Yeah, the healthcare also has opportunities. So it's not just tech companies, but almost any industry, aerospace, mechanics, healthcare, you name it. Regulations, even in finance. So yeah.
Controls engineer, service writer, controls engineer senior, technical writer, marketing communications, proposal writer, senior engineering technical writer, training specialist, service writer, analyst, service writer, technical engineer senior. And this is Nashville. I'm just going city by city just to prove a point. All right, let's go one more. I'll do San Francisco because, it's going to be crazy. But we're just doing it for the comparison. Because if you can work remote in San Francisco and don't have to live in San Francisco, the best. Okay?
So, I know. But I'm not going to lie, though. Google and Amazon, all those companies, I won't say all, but a lot of those companies, they create an environment where you don't even want to leave. Like, the rumors are true. Like, your food is free. You can do laundry at the job. You can bring your dog to the job. Like, it's nice there. So you don't even want to work remote because you can work like in the TV area, you could take a break and play pool and watch TV. Like you don't even have to be at your desk as long as you're